This is an overhead view of the pit area of the Haskell Pinspotter, known as the 8279. We are taking a look at what is known as the carpet, a conveyor belt that transfers the bowling pins to the rear of the machine and also guides the ball into the ball door to be returned to the bowler. There are many rips and tears in this carpet, and it is affecting the ability to quickly get the ball through the ball door. Pins are also getting stuck in the tears, causing the carpet to jam and time out the machine. I am going to be changing out the carpet and replacing it with a new one. I'll be showing you how I tear down the machine to remove the carpet. This transmission that I am using on the pin lift is from a self-driving lawnmower. To make it work, I needed to cut the shaft down and add sprockets to the output shaft and fabricate a bracket to the transmission to be able to mount it to the pin lift. As you can see, there is quite a bit of debris in the pit area. We will get this cleaned up in a bit. I had to pull the pit away from the pin deck to access the front roller. If I had more room in the back, I could have just slid the pit with the pin lift and distributor attached, but due to the lack of space behind the machine, the pin lift and distributor need to be removed. These are some serious rips and tears in this carpet. This is way overdue for a replacement. Here I added droppers tape to the rear drive roller to give the roller more grip. Before using the tape, if there were a lot of pins on the carpet would stall out. Oh goody, more debris. Here are all the parts laid out on the lane. Starting with the bounce board, you can see the V groove in the board, followed by the distributor, pin lift, the turn pan, the plow assembly, and finally the front and rear rollers. I'm going to take a little bit of time here to clean up all the debris from the pit. Let's compare the old and the new carpet. The old carpet was simply a thick piece of vinyl that I picked up from the remnant section of a sewing supply store near me. The vinyl is thin and doesn't have much backing on it. When comparing it to the conveyor belt, the thickness and the heavy-duty backing of the belt material should withstand a lot more abuse than the vinyl I was previously using. I have laid the conveyor belt on my little makeshift table made of some random synthetic wood-like material. Not sure what it's normally used for, but it's really durable stuff. Using a drywall T-square and a utility knife, I measured and cut the conveyor belt. After cutting the conveyor belt to the proper length, I drew a line on the back side of the belt, approximately 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. I am using a leather punch to perforate the belt to prepare for stitching. I am using a nylon thread and needle to stitch the belt together. I am using what's known as a cross stitch, a common stitch used to bind leather and other heavy materials together. Here is what the back side of the cross stitch looks like. Not too shabby for hand stitching. After I stitched the conveyor up, I laid it flat on the table and pressed the ends down to ensure the conveyor will be flat and level at the seam. Here is the new carpet in the machine. I am dry running the carpet to get it broken in. As you can see, it is still a little stiff. Well, the carpet is a little thick and still stiff. I ran the carpet for a few hours while adjusting the tension occasionally. After retesting with more balls, I was still running into the same problem. The ball was not going into the V-groove of the bounce board and through the ball door. I tried one last desperate attempt and used a slightly heavier ball. The ball is sitting on the V-groove like it should, but it's not going through the ball door. Not sure what's going on here. This is a piece of the new conveyor belt that I had just installed alongside an older piece of what's known as ugly white carpet from Stalls, which is used on Cubica AMF Pinspotters. The thickness of my new conveyor belt was advertised as 0.074 inches thick. When I read it with the digital calipers, it read 0.075 inches thick. Close enough. I then used my calipers on the ugly white, and it was 0.065 inches thick. I was surprised by this. When I originally ordered the conveyor, I did not have anything to compare it to, so I picked a material that I thought would be thin enough, but apparently it wasn't. I remembered that I had some AMF pumpkin carpet on the ball cushion, so I measured that. The pumpkin carpet was 0.11 inches thick, much thicker than the other carpets. I decided to measure the vinyl carpet I'm currently using in the machine, which measured 0.038 inches thick. I have abandoned the new carpet and opted to use the old carpet and flip the carpet around, putting the bad side on the non-ball door side. Before I installed the old carpet, I did some sanding on the bounce board assembly to dull the V-track a bit, so it hopefully wouldn't cut the carpet. Looks like the old carpet is working just fine. This carpet has about 90,000 frames on it. I should hopefully be able to get another 90,000 frames. I shouldn't have to worry about pins getting stuck in the carpet, as the tears lie flat on the bounce board, and it should make it a lot tougher for the pins to get trapped in the carpet. Since installation, it has had several thousand frames without any issues, so hooray for that one. In the meantime, I will try to find a similar material like I had before. Thanks for watching.